What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another news video. Today we are taking a look at The Crow. The Crow is a movie which came out in 1998, so we are taking a little bit of a step back through time. We did this a couple of days ago with Beetlejuice, before we took a look at Beetlejuice, and then we're going to be taking a look at the new Crow tomorrow, and then after that we're going to be hopping backwards through time back to Nightmare Before Christmas. So today it is The Crow. And the reason we're doing this is because A, it's spooky month, it's Halloween, and this is a little bit of a spooky movie, a little bit of a horror movie, so we're going to be taking a look at this. And then it is also because there is a new version of The Crow, a remake of The Crow coming out later on this year, in a couple of weeks, a couple of months from the time of me making this video. But anyway, let's get into what Google has to say. So The Crow is a action fantasy which is 1 hour and 42 minutes, the average length of the movie back then, not the 2 hours and a half that we have now. We then have it getting a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb, an 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 3.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd. You can watch this on ITVX, Google Play, and Amazon Prime. It came out in 1994. So Eric Draven and his fiancée are brutally murdered when his mysteriously returns from the dead. With the help of a crow, it begins to guide him to his killers. So the movie starts off with this guy and his wife, this guy and his girlfriend, sort of walking through the city, they go back to their apartment, and these guys follow them and absolutely destroy them. They murder the shit out of them, and it turns out they don't actually murder his girlfriend, they actually kidnap her instead. So he goes on a killing spree and hunting them all down, killing them all, and getting revenge for them, or what he thought, killing both of them. So he ends up going through killing them all like an absolute badass. He's immortal, by the way. For whatever reason, he comes back and he can tank bullets, he can tank knives, and take a beating like an absolute fucking champ. He has increased strength, increased speed, and increased stamina, and he has makeup like he's from Kiss. He goes around absolutely fucking throwing hands, and he finds out that his girlfriend wasn't actually killed and she was kidnapped. So she goes and finds her, and she's in a clock tower, and she saves her, but he ends up falling down the clock tower himself and crawling back into his grave after he's fulfilled his mission, saving his girlfriend and killing everyone else. That is pretty much the movie. I quickly summarized it because there isn't much that actually happens. He literally just goes around killing people and getting revenge. He goes to like every different person involved with his murder and brutally kills them. I'm not going to get into every single murder because there is a lot. Some of them aren't that special, some of them are a little too ranchy, devious for YouTube, so we're just going to skip past those, but I will talk about the devious one, because I didn't feel like they had to include the devious bit. I'm going to be honest, like, that scene went on for a little bit too long before the Crow actually barged in and killed them. You know, I thought it went on for a little longer than necessary, and it didn't really add anything to the story, other than a little bit of spice, which I wasn't really there for. I didn't really care. I didn't really want to see it. But you saw all of it. Like, damn, the 90s were a different time. You saw fucking all of it, every single little bit, and I didn't personally like that. But the action in this movie was really fucking good. The choreography was great, and it was just so exciting watching him go around slowly uncover the mystery of like who killed him, why killed him, and going around slashing, throwing hands, beating the shit out of them. And he had like a crow that followed him everywhere, and it was really weirdly animated at times to sort of make it move how they wanted it to, so it had really weird CGI in it, but it was alright. And it's like 1994, we're gonna give it a break. It's alright. And it ends up like having a lot to do with the Crow, where they'll come and like heal him, peck at him, swarm around him, and bring him back. He wears like a full latex suit and looks like he's definitely from the band Kiss. Like every time I saw him, I was like, damn, that guy's from Kiss. That guy is a Kiss band member. And he was running around beating the shit out of people. He also set fire in the shape of a crow, which was fucking sick, by the way. That was like his calling mark, like a crow shape. It was fucking brutal. It was sick. It was great, and I really enjoyed it. Just the mindless violence of it all was great. It was a movie where you can turn your brain off, just watch it, and just have like the mindless violence play in front of you. It was really good. It was really great, and I did enjoy it. It is a really interesting movie. The set design was quite dark. Everywhere they went was fucking dark. It was hard to see much, and it wasn't that bright at all. It was lit by like candles, street lights, side lamps, night lights, and stuff like that. It all took place at nighttime, and it was all very fucking dark. So some of the movie was very hard to see. Some of it was easier than others, depending on where they were, like location wise. And he sort of always emerged from the shadows, so I'm guessing that's why they kept it dark and mysterious, because he always just came out of fucking nowhere. The main guy didn't really speak that much, but you could tell how he was feeling from the expressions on his face, and how he was sort of walking around, and how he was carrying himself. Again, another great example of like showing, not telling, and story through visuals, instead of just giving us a fuck ton of exposition and a fuck ton of information, which could have been sort of boiled down and shortened, and it's just unnecessary, which a couple of other movies do. The main bad guy didn't feel that menacing, didn't feel that dangerous. He was just a generic mob boss, and I was kind of scared for him, because after what we've seen the main guy do, we knew he was going down, and like the Crow was doing fuck all. Like the Crow was like taking hands. There was no threat to the Crow at all, except his girlfriend. The fact that his girlfriend was still alive is the reason he then had like a sort of disadvantage and had like the underdog status. If that wasn't the aspect of the movie, if that wasn't included, there would be no fucking reason, like no danger, no threat for the Crow. He would just go in and like absolutely demolish. So they had to throw in something to sort of balance it and sort of even the scales a little bit, because the Crow was definitely way too overpowered, way too sort of advanced, and way too sort of capable of just going through them, mowing through them, like mobbing through the lobby with like no repercussions and no sort of threat, danger, or sort of conflict in the movie that would have made it a little bit more suspenseful than what it was. I would like to take a minute to have like a moment to respect the actor, because the actor that played the Crow in this movie actually died in the filming of this movie. When in the scene where they're falling from the clock tower, he actually died on impact. As when he fell, he actually died. So I just want to take a minute to take a moment of like respect for this actor, who actually lost his life in the making of this movie. I think like remaking this movie is a little bit upsetting, because it has, well, I feel it has a little bit of disrespect on this movie, as the main actor did die when filming this one. So making a remake, people aren't going to remember the old one as much and not even go back and check the old one out because of this remake. They're just going to watch the new one. A couple of people will go back and watch as like a comparison, but not everyone will. So if you do ever get a chance to watch this movie, I do recommend it. It is a great movie, and the actor put everything into it, and unfortunately lost his life in the filming process. So please go check this movie out. It's a really good movie. It has great acting, great set design, great sort of music as well. This is one of the few times I've ever talked about music in a movie, on the channel, but the music is so fucking good and fits the movie so well. Its soundtrack is so good, and it just fits. Like, the music in the background fits every scene so perfectly. It's not like jarring where the music sort of clashes against what's going on. It is so smooth, and it actually has a guiding hand in the movie as well, because it makes some of the scenes even better and sort of amplifies them and builds the suspense up more than what it would if we didn't have the music in the background. Speaking of music in the background, there is a little announcement, you might be able to hear it. We are adding music into the background of our film reviews now. We're upgrading, we're getting a little bit better, we're upping the quality on the channel once more, adding music into the background of our film reviews to sort of spice it up a little bit and to give us a little bit of extra noise, so it's not just my voice droning on and on at you. It's got a nice soothing backing sound to it, which should help the video be a little bit more digestible, a little bit more intriguing, a little bit more entertaining, and just to sort of add a little bit more noise to the mix, so it's not just my voice going on and on at you and like corroding away at your eardrums and corroding away at your brain. If you do want to check out some other videos that I have done on the channel, you can hit the subscribe button, which is red because 98% of you are recurring viewers but you're not subscribed, which is unfortunate. You should be subscribed. Like, you're here, you're watching my videos, you obviously like my stuff, so hit the subscribe button, turn it from red to grey, and join the price tags. It is free, you can always change your mind later. If you do decide you don't actually like my content, you don't actually like me. However, getting back to the subject of this video, this movie is a solid 9 out of 10.